Briefing for Thursday, the 6th of April. I'm Stephen Ridgway. Time to patch. Chrome has released version 1.1.2, which patches 16 security flaws, including some remote code execution vulnerabilities. So, as always, make sure your Chrome's up to date. Chrome's pretty good at updating itself. Just check that it has done that, or every now and then close it and reopen it, and it should kick it into life. If you switched off auto updates, if that's possible, I don't know. Just remember to then manually keep on top of this stuff. Worth checking that you're on Chrome 1.1.2 though. Also, Android is due for an update. There are various vulnerabilities that have been patched recently. So specifically to CVE 2023-21085 and 2023-21096. They're system components vulnerabilities that allow remote attacker to execute arbitrary code. Overall, let me see. Yeah, improper input validation in the system components itself. As always, Google are not giving away lots of information around these things because, well, quite frankly, whilst that might be helpful in some circumstances, it also helps people to write silly bits of malware that can get distributed and thrown about. So, understandable. The vulnerability 2022-38181, by the way, is an ARM GPU kernel driver vulnerability that allows unprivileged access to freed memory. And consequently a use after free vulnerability in there. That one's being actively exploited, so check that you are on the latest versions of Android. Appreciate that Google tends to keep Android up to date, but Google partners, although Google partners get notified of these particular vulnerabilities and patches associated with them about a month before they're made publicly available, that doesn't mean to say that all of Google's Android partners are as on the ball as they could be when it comes to pushing this stuff out. So might be worth having a manual check just to make sure that you are on the right version. So vulnerabilities are found in versions 11, 12, 12L, and 13. And as Google says, users should update as soon as they can. So a couple of interesting articles about ChatGPT. Article in Dark Reading that sets out how a researcher went about breaking ChatGPT's effectively sandbox about not building malware. Started out by saying, build me some malware, to which ChatGPT said, no, I'm not allowed to build malware. But then proceeded to build all of the bits of the malware separately. Which could all then be joined together to provide stenography-based delivery of what they say. They're saying in the article it's undetectable. Well, I think surely what that means is it was undetected at that point. So and it took various iterations of checking this malware against VirusTotal before they eventually got it to the point where nothing was triggering on it. But you know what that means? It means VirusTotal's got a copy of it, so it will be being run through sandboxes and distributed to, distributed out to other organizations. So there will be an update, I'm certain, in the methods that are used to identify whether this is malware or not. This will just, in the end, we're going to have a bit of an arms race, I guess, between AI and what I bet will become AI-based heuristics to identify AI-driven malware. I'm just waiting for somebody to start up a company called Skynet. So Not necessarily as a response to that, but as a response to general concerns over ChatGPT. Italy is looking to ban ChatGPT because it doesn't comply with data protection laws. They're questionable whether it's conforming to GDPR. Bet it isn't. But more specifically, there are the, there is Italian legislation which it is which ChatGPT definitely is in breach of. So interesting, the countries that are looking to restrict or ban ChatGPT. These include China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia. Um, the EU is in the process of preparing an artificial intelligence act to, as they say, to define which AIs are likely to have societal consequences. Yes, it will be very interesting to see where this goes. I've got to say, I understand the concerns that people may have around this stuff. But short of being an actual luddite and marching on the data centers with a few spades and pickaxes to break up the servers, what are you going to do, right? It's out there, it exists. You can ban the use of it, but that doesn't mean to say that other people are going to as well. We're never going to get a global ban of something like ChatGPT. Anybody who's used it will see that whilst it has its flaws, it is got enormous potential. Banning it sounds, let's look at it this way: the countries which are looking to ban it do tend to have very draconian methods of government, and if they can't control it, just ban it. And yes, I would include the European Union in that. Laws being made by people who are unelected, blah blah blah, loads of politics, and we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. Anyway, that's kind of it today, but just one thing I did want to perhaps bring to your attention. As we talk about a lot on this briefing, there is a lot of bad cybersecurity, a lot of bad cybersecurity practices out there, some of which is derived from misinformation. Some of it is vendor driven in order to sell you shiny things. But our CEO has actually released an article on the That Security Company website yesterday, which I think makes a really good read, and I would recommend that you check it out. So yeah, hopefully go and read Eliza May's article on That Security Company's website and see what you think about that. And that is enough from me for today. I hope you have a great day. It is the Easter bank holiday weekend in the UK, so no podcasts until Tuesday next week. So tomorrow and Monday, bank holidays here, and I shall be. I shall be undoubtedly sat in front of my computer doing other things, but I'm not going to be doing a daily briefing. So I will speak to you all on Tuesday. Hope you have a great Easter break.